Hello there.
We actually just hit start on the stream. I just reloaded, right?
All right. Cool. So should I
Red
get it started,
Nitrous is
Frankie,
from.
or what?
What's up?
Hmm?
Go ahead, Scorpio. You can start.
Sorry, boys. I didn't let you guys just have a little introduction there. I'm just getting my notes here.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we're live with Scorpio from the neighborhood and all of us from the neighborhood. This is Red Nitrous, Michael. We'll go with Michael.
Perfect.
And yeah, we're here to. I think Scorpio's got an announcement about the neighborhood, and we're probably just gonna kind of pick his brain about said announcement. And yeah, we can go ahead and get into it.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, I just got a few announcements about the neighborhood. I made a post in the announcement thread on Discord, but sometimes people just ignore those. So I figured let's just do a quick video chat. I'll throw all the ideas out there. We've got a few guys here that can, give some feedback on those items. Tell me what they think. If any of you guys have read those docs, I know Michael might have read some, but I don't know.
I looked at them. So
Briefly.
Cool. Okay. So the things I'm going to talk about here mainly are the expansion. So we have the opportunity to expand the neighborhood and do the same thing we did with the initial sale, which is sell one parcel to one user. We'll talk about that a bit later. I'll just go over the rest of this stuff. We're going to talk about the community square too, a design competition that we're going to do. It's not exactly a competition. It's more of just like a long-term fair sort of thing. People can contribute stuff, and I'll be posting a list of prizes that'll hopefully motivate people to contribute some stuff. And also, I've got KJ's not here, but I did actually consult her a little bit. I just spoke with her and I asked her some of her thoughts on design contests, because designers a lot of the times have problems with design contests for certain reasons. It's kind of like asking for free work from people, and it kind of gives up their rights to their work and stuff. So I'm gonna just like touch on some of those topics that I think are important if you want to do this right. And the last one is something that Michael brought up to me just yesterday, which is this Bullion X project, which has these gold staked coins, like commemorative coins, and they're opening an event for like a week or two, starting. I think it starts very shortly. If not, it's already started.
All right.
Yeah. You could. I don't know really into the project, but you could mint them with your logo. So maybe if we have a logo, that would be maybe nice to do.
Okay.
And we could, and Michael was also saying we could use some of the funds, because they kind of, if you give them a design, they give you one, but then they mint extras, and those ones go out to public sales. So we could use public sale earnings for the community fund.
For the community fund, yeah.
Okay.
So let me go over pretty much everything now then, and then we can talk about stuff after too a little bit. Like I know Frankie has been pushing events a little bit. Bring people to the neighborhood is sort of Frankie's motive right now.
Yeah.
And so it's a perfect time to kind of talk about the expansion. So I'll start off with the expansion. So like I said, we've got an opportunity to do the same thing we did before. What I'm finding so far, just doing some low-key marketing, is it's really hard to find buyers. It's surprisingly hard to find buyers, because everyone in the space has pretty much bled themselves dry buying stuff already. So we really, it's hard to get people who we actually know in the space to buy. And it's, I think we're going to have to maybe find some of the newer users and get them involved, or just explain and give exposure to the project a bit more. And that's to Frankie's point with having more events, bringing more people to the neighborhood, and that sort of thing. So, yeah, one thing that I've found so far, it's actually quite difficult to find buyers for this. But one thing I did want to mention with regards to that is the way that we're selling them. We've priced them specifically so that if anyone in the neighborhood finds a buyer or a friend that wants to come in and buy one of these parcels, and they refer that person, then they'll get 500 mana, because we've just arranged the sale like that. So we're hoping that motivates people a little bit. I know 500 mana is not the most, but it's hopefully will incentivize people a little bit. Other than that, there was some notes about the expansion that, we want to keep, it's different than the first time selling to people, because we actually have a community now that's directly adjacent to these parcels. So it's even more important to the community, I'm sure, that we do this right, and we follow the standards that we did the first time. So as we sort of experiment with how to distribute these and find a market for them, we will be sort of trying to be transparent with the community and making sure that they're happy with how everything's being distributed. But anyway, I'll let you, if anyone has anything they want to ask about the expansion or stuff they want to say about the expansion, let me know.
Is there a need for a expansion? Is there?
Yeah, that's one of the things for me.
Yeah?
Definitely. The same question, I should say.
Yeah, okay. So I knew this would be a thing that came up because, Franky had talked about this with me too. Yeah. So, I mean, it's obvious that what we should be focusing on is, adding quality to the neighborhood, having more events, building on it and stuff like that, instead of focusing on, let's just make another sale. But on the other side of things, if we have the opportunity to expand now and, maybe 2 years down the line, if we had said, we could expand, but there's not much of a market and we want to build, and we ignored it, we just might regret it. Say there's a bunch of new users that come in, and we had just wished that we'd expanded it when we had the opportunity. That's more my concern, is that the opportunity's probably not going to be there forever to have an expansion on this particular project.
Yeah.
So if we find that there really is no market, then so be it. But I think there's also conversations to be had if we really can't follow that first mission, to divide that expansion up in some other way that would make sense for the users. But I really want to experiment and see if we can get more users, because I think the bigger network that the neighborhood has, the more powerful it kind of becomes. So I definitely think it's something worth pursuing, even though we should be focusing on building, and I am slowly focusing.
Yeah, I've seen it. My thoughts on it is, I think that we should really start working on just like, okay, my thoughts on it the other day after me and Kryptonaut did that gas station thing was
nice.
Thanks, man. But was that we really have a design team here. You know what I mean? With everybody involved, we can make a bunch of cool shit. So I think that we really that's the power. After that, people would want to be involved in that. But I think that showing that we can do something that becomes a thing, whether it's events or some sort of like mechanism that the DCL world needs, I think that's going to be important, and we have all the talent we need here,
Yeah, I think the last time that we had a neighborhood talk, there was sort of this idea that had become more clear to me from everyone's input, that we don't have to be so like decentralized and hyper democratic. We could make teams that are responsible for doing things. And I guess when I did the community square doc that I put in the Google Drive, there was a little bit of that. There was a little bit of, here's some work to do here. That was pretty basic stuff. There wasn't much revolutionary in that. It was more like, here are some basic tasks. And a task force hasn't formed yet, but maybe the next move is to actually just post and say, hey, we're going to apply for a grant based on this. Who wants to do what? That's only a step away. So maybe that's the next move.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. If it's but I really think that it needs to be kind of more organic than that. Like, I think we could make. Well, first of all, we just need ideas, and I can, definitely be a part of that. I think ideas is one of the best things. The things that I'm best at. But also, in general though, like, you need to kind of grab a team and start working on that idea and make that idea work, and then you can have people see the value in that thing, whether it's a value because it makes money, or a value because it draws attention, whatever it may be, But I think that doing projects that that drive some either traffic or revenue is probably going to be the move. as far as
how do you think we can motivate people better to collaborate?
you do one project that works, you know. So that's really to me that's it's always show first, you know. So it's like you know
now it's more a one parcel show reel, you know, and that's fine. That's fun.
Yeah.
But there's not really like but maybe somebody turned on the lights here.
Yeah, like I think the first thing that is around here that either makes money or drives a serious amount of attention for a duration of time too. Like, okay, you know, Toxiam had a great opening over here in the Viking gym, but you know, it's not a lot of consistent traffic. Like honestly, it would be cool if we created our own neighborhood game. You know, that everybody had a little piece in that did something, you know, and you know whatever it may be. We have all the talent in the world to do it. We really do.
I think one of the things we need to consider with the way that we approach what you're saying, which is like, let's have something that people always want to come see. I mean, we're close to that with some things. Like the maze is pretty engaging and backgammon game is fun, but we don't have something like Block Runner that's bringing RedNitrous and company back but day in and day out.
I'm not even talking about like something like that. Something that incorporates all of us. So you have like a reason to be on this one and on that parcel and that parcel, and it's not necessarily a mechanic. Like, you know, other people have already done that. Like, we got to kind of create our own story, you know?
Yeah.
But, sorry, what kind of, you know, I don't know, RedNitrous, for example. Did you make the Block Runner then?
No.
Did I hear
No,
you say?
He wins every Block Runner
They're
contest.
just I just play the games.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, you were on the top. You're very good with the games. Yeah, that was it, yeah. You're very, okay.
Has anyone made an Excel of RedNitrous' winnings yet? Because I actually want to see that. I want to see that in a big single
man,
number.
I don't know.
Do you also make things, build things, RedNitrous? Do you?
Yeah.
The screen
Okay,
is all his.
That screen is.
I have my
cool.
my screen on there, and then I also have I just added the DCL memes to it. And I have my NFTs on there.
Yeah, right.
Right, why did they go so small?
Oh, because I was trying to test with the image quality because I was having issues with the resolution.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna try something else because it's still not like showing the full resolution images. So I think it might be the frame, but I don't know yet. So I'm testing it still.
All right, cool.
Franky, do we have any traffic there yet? Or is it just the four of us hanging out?
It's just us.
Yeah. So I'm glad you're recording it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing you guys a bit so far on the expansion side of things. So I know that I'm hearing that we want to focus on building more than expansion. So I'm focused on both. I'm gonna try and push expansion if we can, because I think it'll be good in the long run. And I'm gonna keep trying to grind forward with finding ways to make people collaborate, make people come back. But I think that's maybe just something that we should be talking about in the threads too, because there's only four of us, and I don't know. It's still an experiment, but would it help to have a collaboration contest or something like that?
And the voting part that you pronounced previous down, that people can vote. You know, I think maybe, you know, when people can easily vote, they will vote, but maybe they are too busy with other things to really go into it. You know, so if you get easy answers for them, maybe they say, okay, I can help, or yes, it's fine. Yeah,
so you're saying make whatever they need to do clear as possible, clear and short as possible.
Yeah. Also, like, we should be finishing products. You know what I mean? Like we had, like you saying, the vote thing. We should finish that. You know what I mean? And then, you know,
just put it. Maybe somebody can make it into DCL. That would even, then we already have something to.
The thing that I had concluded during our last talk with the vote was that the flag vote was a cool idea, but it might have been too work heavy and too for people to be doing. So that's why I kind of shifted the focus to the logo, so we could just make a basic flag, because people seem to be excited about the flag itself more than what we'd be voting for. So I was hoping that would get us some progress there, but I kind of put the flag voting stuff on hold, and I was hoping to sort of substitute that with the design fair, or like a long-term event where people contribute models and win prizes.
See, I'm always kind of against prizes. I don't think prize should be a motivation. Like, honestly, we should just do something that in my book, and as I'm not saying this is exactly the way it should be, but in my book, it would be like, let's do something that has a purpose that would either, like I said, either generate revenue or traffic that we all kind of put in on, or maybe a couple of us put in on. You know, so you have like whatever it is, maybe a mechanic, something. Just what, you know, like I had come up with an idea about having a mailbox you know, if we can make that happen, I'll build a mailbox tomorrow. You know, like the way it looks. You know, it don't have to even be like it could just be like a box looking thing with the logo on it. You know, it don't have to be nothing special. You just put it up on your joint, and then you know, somebody like Kryptonaut can code that up. Like these things, like again, like a mechanic that makes coming to the neighborhood specific. You know.
Okay, so how about I add the mailbox thing to the community square as like our primary task?
No, it would be like, I don't know about that, but like I'm just saying, like it would be like something that we should probably all have one, you know, and you can just go in there, bust a message in there, would be signed with your ETH number, whatever code address. There we go, and you know, and you can get a message from anybody. You can get a message from, you know, anybody with a name, just like Talk Sam's sign book, you know.
Do we have? I don't know how good at programming everyone is in this conversation, but do we know how complicated that is? Like, could Miss Black do something like that? Could Talk Sam build something like that?
I mean, I have a lot of confidence in Kryptonaut to be able to figure out almost anything when it comes to the coding.
Yeah.
I also was thinking that it'd be good to like in some way make the neighborhood like have a compiled area where like if someone needs help with coding, they can go and like see example code. Because I've been trying to figure out my land stuff with the like docs and stuff.
The docs are real tough.
Provides.
Yeah, it's better to have like a network. Absolutely.
They're so miserable to use because they're so like they're made for someone that knows how to code. So like I'm going in blind pretty much. And
well, there's also things in that docs that you just like. If I didn't have HP, I wouldn't be able to get anything done. But luckily enough, I talk to HP a lot, so it'd be like, if I miss, you know, if I'm like something doesn't make sense here, he'll come back to me like, okay, here, that's how you do it. It's just like something's messed up in there or something. I mean, all right, cool. You know, so yeah, I think some sort of network of and I've always kind of been on this, like, you know, I wanted to, my first thing I ever wanted to do in DCL was make a coding museum that you can like see things and then see how to code them and see how that like is relevant in the world, like kind of like physically, you know.
But what RedNet Nitrous was saying, maybe we can see what people's strengths are and see how people can bound teams or help each other, or you know, I'm not.
But again, like the most what's gonna make people want to do that is like something that we did that is actually like working and doing something for us positively, you know, and then, you know.
So I think from what I'm hearing, it wouldn't be that tough to say. I mean, maybe you're in Kryptonaut's gas thing. You know, maybe Kryptonaut wants to keep that under wraps, but you know, maybe other stuff that is a little simpler. Like Red, what's something that you're trying to do but can't do right now?
Well, I just figured it out, but I was doing stuff with the NFTs and like making them link to their NFT images. So I was figuring that stuff out, and so that took a bit.
Maybe we could like take that moment and like, you know, screenshot like a big chunk of whatever code you figured out and like plaster it right in the community square and be like most, you know, like weekly, monthly, like, you know, coding tip or whatever. That would be really, really easy, and it would maybe like inspire people to get into the code more.
Or maybe we can like do it in a different way, like, because you know how Kryptonaut is able to call on websites. So if we had a place where we can post them on a website, and then he had like something that would just scroll and it would show that it would change, you know. So let's say like, okay, let's just say we went to Red's name thing over here. Not to say it'd be on your spot, right? But just say like, let's say it was right on a wall of this nature, and then I know you guys probably can't see me, but Red can see me. So if it was on, let's say the wall where the memes are, but there's no memes, and then there was like information that just popped up there from a website that, you know, that's where we've been working. That's where we've been kind of like, you know, finding things out. So Red found out how to do this, you know, put that up. That's, you know, there's like a little, whatever's on our webpage would just pop up there. And I know Kryptonaut's able to like make things update like that.
True. Michael, what were you saying after? What were you saying after Red was mentioning something with the code?
have no idea. No? Okay. Well, that I cannot code. Yeah. No, I just, I'm impressed what all the people can do, and I'm not, But post-its, maybe post-its hangs. Maybe people can hang post-its on the wall or something that people can help. You know, like RedNitrous needs some help over there, and people, if possible.
Like a post-it, but post-it. How do you? That would be cool.
It's like one of those like small
yellow
chat box thingies. Yeah, I know they have in the builder. I don't know how to use them though.
No, they have some small blue things, or maybe something like that. But we have like a.
We can make it ourselves.
Click and expands
anything
out,
that we
like in a supermarket, you sometimes have like the small notes, you know.
Yeah.
Do you have it also? Yeah.
Yeah, we can easily just make that. Like, that would be something we can make, and just, again, we have the right people to make it work. It's just about taking the idea, running with it, and then finishing it. I think that finishing things is the most important thing. Because then we can show that we've done something as a group and then finished it,
Yeah, I think the trick is definitely going to be like working within the scope of what we have, especially because like this isn't a project that people owe a return on investment on. So it's kind of like everyone needs to contribute as much as they can with the time that they have, So we need to definitely find a project that's within the scope. And I think the mailbox one seems like it could be. I don't know how complicated that is, but.
I think that if Toxan was over to help us with the sign, how to get like that to work, that signing process, then like I could make the mailbox literally tomorrow, like Kryptonaut I'm sure could figure out the rest. I don't think it was like, I think this stuff is not that bad.
So there was another one. It would be cool to have an NPC in the community square that would tell people about the neighborhood. I think that could be an event in itself. Like, hey, go to the neighborhood and talk to this guy, and he'll tell you everything that you need to know about the neighborhood. Like, I think that would be exciting enough to kind of get people.
That'd be a good thing. But that would the thing about that, the reason why I'm kind of like about that is because, like, outside of it, like, how often do you go talk to the NPCs in Genesis after you talk to it once?
Well, I've been into Decentraland, so I don't need to talk to those NPCs. But like, people never been in the neighborhood.
But if you've been to the neyborhood, then you wouldn't need to talk to the neighborhood once, twice.
Yeah, maybe that's true. But maybe we can make them.
So it'd be like something funnier. Like that. Like, that's cool, but here's my thing: is my thought process is let's make something that makes some money. That way people can like want to do something. They're like, all right, these guys are making things that that put money in your pocket.
Yeah. I mean, if I had an idea to make money, I'd 100% be like
obviously,
doing it right now. I just don't.
I'm saying, like, if you think that way, I mean, it's like having just something is not it. Having something that we accomplished together that is like, it's got some sort of business model behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe we can ask like a monthly fee to hire people or pay people for the work. It's like
but the work with no business plan is just work. My thought is like let's get some idea together. That's we all like we can do something with that has like legs, like in the business side of things.
I mean, if we got a plan that's gonna make us money, then obviously I think everyone's open to it. I think it's really, we need like heavy work to make money essentially, and if we find a way that's like a novel thing that we could set up that makes us money, then that's good. But I can't currently think of it, so I'm kind of just like, let's just slowly all contribute a little bit. Let's collaborate a little bit. Like,
but like for example, me, I cannot code. I cannot, design really good. So what could I bring in? I could bring in maybe a monthly fee, or maybe somebody else. He can program and get a little bit paid for his work, or
whatever you bring to the table is cool though. I mean, if you bring ideas, if you bring, whatever your specialty is in the world, with me, I'm generally communicating and doing stuff like this is kind of like my thing, but I'm willing to kick in any kind of way, like just to help out and see if I can make something happen. I'd be more willing to sit and have a brainstorm about what can we do on the side of like building something that's has like a revenue model, more than like just making something to make something, you know, like for a prize or something, you know.
Yeah, I don't think the prizes motivate people that much anyway. But okay, I think we've talked a lot on this subject, so I'm curious about. I know some of you guys read this stuff that I posted. Were there any like big like feedback you had, like you didn't like something you saw, or you wanted to expand on something you saw in those docs? Like Community Square was fairly detailed. The design comp had a few details, but was there anything in, and the expansion had some details too. Was there anything in there that people didn't like or they did like?
I honestly didn't go too deep.
You didn't read
Yeah, I
it.
figured, Frank, you're too busy.
I didn't do my homework. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. The community parcel. Yeah. Do we need? Is there? Yeah. Do we need an extra one? You know. I don't know. RedNitrous. What is your?
You saying an
I
extra
feel like
community
the
parcel?
current community parcel isn't really doing that much at the moment, so I feel like we need to use up that space before we like add more space, I guess.
Yes, that's a good point. Yeah. First, do indeed some interesting things before we expand. Yeah. But I think maybe we can do like a question list, and people can vote yes or no, and if they don't vote, then most votes will do something.
Well, okay, so there's not too much feedback on that yet, other than like I'm just hearing the same thing, which is we need to like make something cool. Essentially, I mean, it was cool when we all built, and now I feel like people are like, hey, we need the next thing.
Yeah. But if there is like a possibility where people can drop like IDs in an ID box or so, if you can make it public, you know, like something like put them on a wall.
That could be step one. I mean, that could be step one
know?
of the mailbox idea, and just make the box itself, and then have somebody work out the functionality of the suggestion box, and then the suggestion box can evolve.
Yeah, people already have kind of builds for that too. So yeah, okay, I'm putting priority that like we want something that people can put mail in or put ideas on. Or
yeah, because if you visit the neighborhood, right, and you're not here with a whole bunch of people every time. Every time I check in the neighborhood, you know, Michael's not here. Sometimes he's here. Sometimes he's not. Sometimes you're here. Sometimes Miss Black, he's here. But if I can just be like, I saw something on your build or something like that, so I'm going to throw it in the suggestion box. And then every now and again, you can just flip through the suggestions in the suggestion box.
Yeah. Nice idea.
I think it's something simple enough that we can probably work out, you know, in a short amount of time.
But who could work it out? You, Frankie?
Between me, Talk Sam, and Kryptonaut, I gotta imagine that even Red could figure out some of this stuff. Like this stuff, it's not that bad, man. It's like if you can get into the SDK a little bit, you can understand some things, especially if you just know what you want to do.
Okay.
I can definitely be a help, that's for sure. I can probably find out how to do all this stuff, whether I can code it myself or not, but we'll see. But I can definitely find out the information.
If it puts it in perspective, guys, I just started using the SDK yesterday because I've been hearing feedback. It's like the community center needs to be better, and I've been doing the best I can with accessible ways like builder publishing or just trying to leverage the work of other people. But it's easier said than done. So I've been trying to learn the builder just so I can make those contributions. Mm-hmm. And if you do the escape room, then honestly, like that's the way you do it. You don't read the docs because the docs don't make any sense. But the escape room, they're like 2-minute videos, and you'll spend like an hour on each, and then you'll be good.
Have you done Decentraland University?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, those are huge. Like if you go through and do those, I know they're long. You do one every couple days, whenever you feel like it, whatever. You'll catch on real quick because it's not just the information being spit at you. People are asking questions and stuff like that, so you can really grasp a lot of information off of that.
The trick kind of is with the museum or the escape room. Mm-hmm. I find is that every example is not just like teaching you how the code works, because it kind of doesn't fully do that, but it gives you a template. So it's like if you want to make a door or a platform, or you want to make a sound, then you have all the pieces from the escape room thing. So I think that maybe there's a space for us to like show our SDK progress too, which people do anyway. So there's not anything up there.
I mean, our own kind of like SDK thing, like a thing like this where we would just like, if you share the screen or if Red wants to share a screen or whatever the case is, like we could probably figure it out like this on the screen live. That might be helpful to the whole Decentraland.
Yeah, Frank, you gonna run like little teaching sessions?
Why not?
Yeah, interactive.
Yeah, why not? That takes care of my part, right? Like at that point, then I'm actually being helpful. I'm being useful. You know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So I mean, if we could just sat here and then just building sessions essentially. Like, all right, cool. Let's come up with an idea. Let's build it today, or at least within the next 2-3 sessions. You know, and we all dedicated or whatever time to it. Like, all right, cool. And then I think that it would probably make everybody a lot more familiar with each other anyway.
So, okay, so we've kind of talked about everything like in a mix because it kind of all ties together. Mm-hmm. But the last thing, and some of KJ's notes, I don't even feel are necessary to bring up because, you know, do we want to have a contest, or do we want to just have people contributing because they want to contribute? Or,
I'd rather not have a contest. I think that we're above a contest at this point. You know.
What do you guys think? Michael,
a contest about what? Sorry, the contest.
It's like a builder contest, like a design contest.
No, because I will definitely lose. No, yeah, because I don't think the people who joining this project are not here to win prizes. I think
that's where I'm coming from. Yeah,
and all the people that would be able to make something cool already have like shown that they are like making cool stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So
it's like we can catch each other up as far as like we have different levels of expertise here, and we could easily like Red could be real good if we were hanging out with Toxam a lot, if we were hanging out with KJ a lot. Like he could be just pick this stuff up. He's like 18, 20, 19 years old or something like that. I mean, like he can pick this stuff up fast. And so can I, honestly. Like if I spend a little bit more time doing it, you know, there's things, little tips and tricks when you hanging out with somebody else that does that thing, you know.
Well, I have to say this neighborhood motivated me to dive into the builder, but do some things more and that sort of things. And but it's also hard to see how your private agenda is. You know, if you are 16, 17, you probably have more time than somebody with a family or with work.
But if you knew that, okay, school, let's say we took every Sunday at a certain hour, and you know for
to have whatever like a amount of daily time, meetup. Yeah,
we did a meetup, right?
Yeah, and see if you can, not exactly, probably and not every time.
If I have like, if I was able to give like, let's say I gave Red, hey Red, take over the stream for this amount of time. Like, let's say I couldn't be there. All right, Red. Well, here's the stream key. Like,
and take it over.
Go ahead and run that. And I think I might be able to even talk to HP and get a different stream key for that time or something like that. Where it wouldn't even be nothing. Like, I'm not sure, but I think that this could work no problem. Like, honestly, if we did like every Sunday or every certain day at a certain time, and like, all right, we're gonna meet up at this time every time, and you don't have to be there every single time. But, we're going to work on the project of the time, and then we're going to move on to the next project of the time until those projects are done and we keep getting more advanced.
And maybe one guy can write down the notes and put them on his lens, like these are the notes from this weekend or this day, and this was discussed, or this is where we need to vote, or
even if that's just a channel in the Discord, Hey, we got the channel from, kind of like the notes. What do you call those things? Yeah. PowerPoints or something like that from last week?
Yeah, bullet points or,
There we go. Thank you. Yeah, I think that, honestly, getting together on a regular basis to build would probably be, to me, something that I think that would be the,
What can it put on the community square, Scorpio, like a... this week where we're going to talk about, or this is spoken last week, to have like a agenda point, like
it wouldn't have to be long, or it could be long. I think that's really that it could
is
be
it
like
possible
that.
Is that an idea so people can scroll into like what's discussed or what the project is going to be? Or
it might be interesting for me to just I have notes that I'm kind of typing up here on like the basic notepad thing, so I could basically translate that to bullets and put on a big old bulletin in the community square, and then it would be like,
Or like when people have like big openings shows, like the one with the game lately and the maze, put them already on the sign, like over 2 weeks. Is that an idea?
It's true.
Yeah.
To make like an announcers board or see what's going on here at this area.
Yeah, it could be good for just like, this is the shit right now. Like just being big about that.
Yeah. And then like I said, if we could meet up and like I said, every time Toxian's not gonna be in it, but the times that he comes,
he's busy,
he can show us some really cool little tricks in the builder. Let's say in the blender or something like that, or Cryptonaut's not going to be able to be there every single time, but he can really help us with the SDK when those times come, and the little by little, we all become a lot better at it, and then we can do anything we think of at that point. And then as you do more of that, then you'll be able to think of more cooler shit that eventually you can start leaning towards something that would make sense to you to make, monetary value off of, or value just because of traffic or whatever,
Cool.
Also, to give people a reason to come to something on a regular basis. Like me and Alegria, we do a show on Tuesday and Thursday, and now people are starting to understand and just go to it. And it's not like something that that I gotta we promote every single thing, we do. But, it's starting to be to the point where people know it's coming,
Cool.
Okay, so I know we talked about some of the same stuff as the first talk, but these things are sort of like an ongoing process. So like we build on what's a priority and sort of figure out what the main roadblocks are. And I'm really starting to realize that contests aren't going to be a thing just because of the type of people that are in the neighborhood. Our main thing is just going to be focusing on little projects, getting a few people to work on little projects and make progress. That's the one thing. The other thing is more bulletins, more like explicit, like right in your face announcement type things in the community square, whether it's promoting someone's project or saying what we talked about in meeting, whatever. So those are the two things I kind of got from this conversation. And also before we end the conversation, I want to talk about this fun, weird idea that Michael brought up, which was this Bullion X.
You were more into it than me, man. Wow.
I like shiny things, man.
Yeah. So So I just, I'm not good with money, So when I've got some, I spend some, So then I spend something about a Bullion X, and now they are, you can design it or mint it and then sell it, and then they keep a share, and you got a share. And of course it's a shiny golden coin, and if we have a logo for the neighborhood, I thought, why not, mint them, and I will put the money into the I saw your visual, and it has like a nice tipping pound, wasn't it, Scorpio? You got a visual of the square and you saw a tipping pound and you put money into or something.
What's the sorry?
At your square, didn't you have like a drawing with like where you can put
like
money
where you throw quarters or coins in a pond?
Oh, in the concept. We have a concept. Pond. That's where the donation is. Yeah.
Yes. So I thought, then I put the money over there. I don't need to make money of my neighborhoods to sell, but who knows? But
we could display that, because that coin's an NFT. We could display that coin in the fountain somewhere. Then it kind of just like shows the neighborhood riches. It's part of our fun.
Yeah. Well, you designed the logo, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of a concept, but I think we're kind of going to go with it. Like, it's simple, it's easy. Like, it
works. It works for me. I mean, it looks good.
I'm good. I'm just good with logos. So, RedNitrous,
how good are you with logos?
I'm not the best. I'm pretty lazy with logos.
Okay. But there were some people in the previous time who were more maybe into the logo thing. But
here's the thing: I don't like spending a ton of time on no one concept. It's like, all right, cool, that's good, that works. Let's go. Let's move on to the next thing. Let's say you talk about the logo for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think the question with the Bullion X thing then is,
I can mint them. Yeah, sounds good.
Because someone has to give the rocks, because you give these rocks that are basically like they're staked to gold a bit, but there's probably an extra price on the commemorative side of it. So I don't know how much we have to bleed into it, to get these minted, but I know that we can have the 5 or the 4 extras after that even if there's not much of a demand for them, then
yeah, I can mint them, and then there are 4 for sale at Booleanix. Booleanix.io, I guess.
The big question I have is about how the price model works, because the Booleanix thing, and it's tied to a gold crypto. So that part of it,
it's like gold tether or something weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the question I
Indeed,
have
something
is
like that. Yeah.
how much more are the coins than the actual staked value of the gold, and like, do people actually buy them? That's my.
They're kind of the same, because I got one for when I won the Infinity Engine thing. They gave
you've
me
also
one
won.
of those
He
coins,
wins everything. Bro.
and it's basically exactly like 1-to-1 to like whatever you need to put into trade.
Yeah,
I guess.
the way I understand it is basically kind of like a stable coin for the price of gold.
And you get a cool NFT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I'm open to it. So, Michael, if you, depending on how much money you want to put in of your personal, then, or if you don't want to do that, then like I'll put some of my money
I have
to
to
buy some rocks.
see, because I was digging into it, and you can do 1 or 2 rocks. So I have to see. What do you think of RedNitrous? You also have Booleanix experience. You told me.
Not much. I just have like one Booleanix thing, so that's like my experience.
Just like
I
a
guess.
coin. Okay.
Yeah, I have a coin. I have one coin.
I like, if you're saying, if you guys are both telling me that the translation to, like the commemorative coin is not that much more than the actual like tethered value of gold, then I'm pretty open to spending my own money to get this done, because I like the idea.
You like it. Okay. Yeah, we talk about it. We can make it for sure.
That'll be a me and Michael project then.
Okay, cool.
That takes care of that.
I can do that. That's my quality. Yeah. Okay.
That's perfect. So like, let's Red, I think me and you can probably put this thing together as far as like just meeting up, neighborhood people, something like this, but more like educational. Like, let's just get together and work on something to build. We'll build something, and then little by little, just with the talent of the crew, we should be able to build it. It shouldn't be this should be not an issue, we just gotta find a date and time that we want to run with, and that'll be that. So we can just build items for the neighborhood, just as a group. You don't have to be there every single time, right? I'm just saying, like, this is something we can just do, though. I know I have the time for it, so let's, we should just do it. But to me, it's very similar to that idea of the whole coding museum. It's like, it's a place where people would be able to live come see how this stuff works, man. It might be good for DCR as a whole, man. Like, kind of like building classes, but only by the students,
The other thing before we go, you guys see the Southern Lights neighborhood too?
Nah, I heard about it. That's Aaron in there, right?
Oh, Soyo, isn't it?
It's you and Aaron, and I think Sugar. Does he have his plot in there? Maybe not.
I'm not sure, but I'm real cool with Ty. That's the Soyu Club.
I've talked to Aaron a bunch. Maybe we could organize a field trip. We'll save this for another conversation, but maybe we got a field trip. Go back and forth.
We can make some
school trip, little school trip.
That
sounds fun.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh, but they have the Southern District then.
Somewhere down there, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Tyler building, or what's he working on? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So we should definitely go out there and link with them. That'd be a good idea.
Cool. All right, well, I'm going to summarize these notes, and I'll make a little bit of a change to Community Square and try and test out some big flashy stuff that we talked about. And
I'll send you a link to the video right after we get off of here. If you want to, or do you want me to just put it up on YouTube? It's up to you.
You can do whatever. Send me links, put on YouTube, whatever.
All right, cool. All right, I should be ready in a little bit. I'm gonna get something to eat and then start my DAP World podcast with Alegria.
Let's see if we can make a weekly call of it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I want to get into that, because I've been wanting to do that thing. So that works. Yeah. We'll do a weekly build session and shit, and then because I can share my screen and we can get the coding and do all that kind of shit. So that don't bother me at all.
And I'm pretty busy, so if it's not a big deal if you can't get me on every time, just because
No. Sure.
No, I wouldn't expect to be able to get anybody specifically on every time, but probably me because I do the video stuff. But I got time, so I'm cool. It's whatever. All right.
Okay, guys.
Sounds like a good situation, good conversation. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Red.
Welcome.
You already know, man. Thanks, Scorpio.
See you guys. Thanks.
See you guys.
See you around somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.